The Whisper in the Wind. 1 Kings 19:9-13. There comes a time in every believer's life when the noise becomes too much. When the victories fade, the fear sets in, and you wonder if God still hears you. Elijah, the same prophet who called down fire from heaven, reached that moment. We've walked with him through the drought, the provision by the brook, and the whisper of God's care through ravens and a widow. We saw his courage on Mount Carmel, standing boldly for truth when the world bowed to idols. But after that great victory came a great fear. Queen Jezebel, filled with rage, vowed to destroy him. And Elijah ran, not because he didn't believe, but because he was human, tired, broken, and afraid. God met him under a broom tree, fed him, and strengthened him for the journey ahead. And now, we find Elijah in the next chapter of his story, alone in a cave on Mount Horeb, waiting to hear from God again. Elijah, weary and confused, pours out his heart to God. He says, "I have been very zealous for the Lord, but the people have forsaken your covenant. I am the only one left, and now they are trying to kill me too." Have you ever felt like that? Like you've tried to do what's right. You've prayed, you've waited, you've believed, and still, it feels like everything is falling apart? Elijah didn't hear God right away. Instead, the Lord told him, "Go out and stand on the mountain before me." And then it happened. A mighty wind tore through the mountains, powerful enough to shatter rocks. But the Lord was not in the wind. Then came an earthquake. The ground shook beneath Elijah's feet. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. Then came fire, fierce and bright, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper, a still, small voice. And when Elijah heard it, he covered his face with his cloak and went out to stand before God. It wasn't the noise that brought God's presence. It was the silence. It wasn't the power of the storm. It was the peace after it. That's where God was waiting for Elijah, and where he waits for you. Sometimes we expect God to speak through big moments, through miracles, breakthroughs, and signs, but more often, he whispers, in the quiet of your heart, in the stillness of your spirit. Maybe you've been praying and wondering why you can't hear him. Maybe the noise of life, the fear, the worry, the pain, has drowned out his gentle voice. Friend, God is not far away. He's not silent. He's waiting. He speaks peace into chaos, calm into fear, stillness into storms. And when you finally slow down enough to listen, you'll find that he's been there all along, whispering your name. If this message spoke to your heart today, pause and breathe. God is still speaking, in the quiet, in the waiting, in the stillness. Take a moment right now to say, "Lord, help me hear you in the whisper." If this video encouraged you, please like, share, and comment below. Tell us where you're watching from and how God has spoken to your heart. Subscribe for more weekly encouragement and prayers. And remember, even when life feels loud, God's whisper still brings peace,